All right, everybody, so welcome back to another episode of Colton Posey Fishing. Today we're going to be doing another breakdown, okay? So here's what we're dealing with. We show up to the lake, we still got some, we've got some clear water, we've got some stained water, and then we've got some very, very muddy water, okay? And in this scenario, though, the biggest thing is the weather conditions. We're dealing with 80 air temps, well, around 80 to 83 air temps, and we have got 10 to 15 mile an hour winds consistently with 40 mile an hour wind gust, okay? So either way, I'm going to show you some footage. Check out the footage, and you'll kind of see what I did throughout the day, and I'm going to break down the process of, you know, how we kind of put the puzzle pieces together on what we was going to do. So stay tuned. This is something you don't want to miss. Got him? Good? Pretty good. He's mad, ain't he? Old palm match. Hey, that's a nice spot.
Well, that tree top right over.
Yeah. That's a pretty spot. That's a good one. They're fighting over it too. Yep, you should get bit. Yep. It's all tangled. Pull your line tight. That's a good one. Dang. Trying to meet. Straight out on that sandbar, Brad. Large head. Fat and pretty. Fat and pretty. Yeah. Well, I saw them shad jump right there, right next to the bank, so I said, well. Another large head, dude. I ain't saw first. I ain't caught the first spot. Ain't caught the first spot. Some spots may be pushed all the way to the back. That's a spot.
Spotty.
Fat, ain't he? There he is. Stay down there, buddy. Look there, not a large head. Yeah. Got it. Oh. good one too. Large head.
He's thick too.
Large head, barely hit him hooked. Sorry, buddy. Pretty. Oh, come on. Got him in. Yeah. He run it all the way back down, dude. One spot. Thought it was another large one. Oh yeah. Well, I want to get us down here. Damn. I want to get us down here and we can cast. I can spot lock, the boat spin around, we can cast up into the wind. Bring our bait back through there a little more natural. Like so. Golly, it may be crappie, bro. That may be crappie. I can't get it. Did you see how many times he hit it? Got him in. Shoot, I couldn't get that. I couldn't get that fluke 5 feet from the boat. There's a little spot. Man, he wanted it though. He hit it like 7 times.
A little bit better.
Look how he ate that. That's a good one. All right, well, I thought it was better than that. He fought like he was for a second. He's still fighting like he is. He said, he is pretty good. He said, I swim. Look how fat he is. Uh-oh. Look, your bait out there. Watch out, sir. Best one of the day. That's heavier than any fish I caught. I couldn't about flip the hat. Every one of the products that I use, the boat wash, the all-purpose cleaner, the musket especially, comes in big handy. I think it's a great product as far as, you know, just for what I need, keeping everything nice, tidy, and clean, and doing it in a, you know, a quick, efficient way, right? Because I mean, I don't want to get home from being on the water for, you know, 12, 13 hours and then, you know, have to spend 2 more hours just cleaning up everything. So, you know, it just made everything a lot quicker, a lot more efficient. The eco-friendly parts really got me, got a thumbs up for me, especially simply because I want to keep our outdoors clean because that's how I make my living. That's how, you know, me and my family enjoy our spare time also. So guys, I gotta say, I'm Colton with Colton Posey Fishing, and I highly suggest the Salty Captain products to keep my stuff clean. Good?
Good.
Is it? Oh, you don't need net though. That is a good one. That's a nice spot.
Freedom.
There he is.
There we go.
Chunky, ain't he? Yeah, look.
What y'all missed that on?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't think so. No, he just had a lot of to him.
That one I caught back there in the hole, man. He was pulling like a big one.
Yeah, this one right here did. Look how chunky he is. I mean, did you not hear my line? All right. So I hope you liked the video, and if you do, make sure to like. It helps me out a whole lot. Subscribe. I got you covered when it comes to anything bass fishing. Comment down below if you ever have any questions. You just want to talk fishing. I love hearing from you guys. So what did we end up doing? So we roll up to the boat ramp. There's not a whole lot of boats. I think there was only like 2 or 3 boats in the parking lot. So, you know, we knew it was kind of going to be a chill day as far as how many people's going to be out here, but we're dealing with those 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So that's kind of like a big issue for a lot of people. But don't shy away from the wind ever, okay? Because, you know, wind pushing up against these banks and stuff, it can really hone in on, you can hone in on where the bass are pretty easily. Those wind-blown banks are typically going to be great areas to target those fish. It creates current, especially in the shallower waters, and kind of pushes the bait fish and the bass closer to the bank. So one of the biggest things that we wanted to do, we knew we didn't want to be necessarily in the 40-mile-an-hour winds, so we kind of wanted to push to an area where, you know, we were getting at least the 10 to 15-mile-an-hour winds, but it's not just, you know, we can still cast our baits and control it a little bit and control the boat. That's one of the main things, is safety. So we move all the way to the back of this creek, and y'all saw me fish there before. Tons of fish, it's loaded. We catch a lot of fish back there, and then we decide, hey, we're going to move out to another area and try these little pockets and just see that's closer to the main lake if any of these fish are hanging out in there. Maybe push some shad up in there, because they have known to do that in the past. So fishing a memory, I go back to that area, and you know, we fish it for maybe 10 minutes and we realize this is not what we want to do. So this is where the adjustment comes in. We make a run all the way up to the other end of the lake, which is the northern end of the lake, and we find the pinch point, what we call a pinch point bridge, okay? This pinch point, what it is you've got the main lake that comes around, the bridge narrows down and splits off on the other side, going into 2 different creeks. Well, the creek, we fish the bridge and we catch several fish right there, nothing real great, and then we cruise all the way to the back of another creek that's on the other side of this, the pinch point bridge I was talking about. And as we get back here, there is another pinch point bridge that goes back into 2 separate creeks that get extremely shallow, and we catch some nice fish off of that bridge there. So the baits that we were using, these are kind of going to be big players this time of year, especially dealing with those muddy water situations and the windy situations. This is that Bravalo Bushwhacker buzzbait. You can get it on VantageTackle.com. Don't forget, we're working with Vantage Tackle now. Helps me out a whole lot, helps those guys out a whole lot. All custom built baits, super affordable. I mean, you can get hand-tied chatterbaits for like $8 or $9. I mean, that's, you can't really beat that anywhere. But you know, either way, all kinds of plastics, anything that you want. But this Bravalo Bushwhacker buzzbait is a little bit different. It's got that bead on it, so when this blade spins, it's going to tick off that blade, or off that BB, and it's going to make a little bit different sound. It's a lot louder, leads to a lot of disturbance, and you know, with the waters being muddy, this right here makes it a lot easier for those fish to target. Now my setup that I'm going to be using, I'm going to use a medium heavy. This is a 7'1" medium heavy. Y'all have heard me talk about this rod for worms before. I use it for buzz baits also. I love a 7'1" medium heavy. Now also, you've heard me talk about top water baits using monofilament. With a buzz bait, I want to use fluorocarbon, okay? I want less stretch, because when those fish come up, hit it from behind, take it under, I want to be able to draw that hook and get that big hook through the side of their mouth and get them in the boat. Now, the other bait I want to talk about, you can cover tons of water, and I mean tons of water. This is that chatterbait. This is also made by Bravalo. One of the biggest things that I like about this, you know, it's wire tied skirt. It's got these little things on the side of the blade that ticks off the head, puts out a little bit different sound than most chatterbaits, and they're very, very affordable. But you know, either way, I'm throwing a freeloader on the back of this. We're, you know, using that fire crawl. We're in that pre-spawn and spawn pattern, so you know those bright reds is going to do really, really well. Whether you're around bedding fish or whether you're around pre-spawn fish, either or, you're going to catch fish off of, you know, those crawl colors. The bass that are on beds do not like crawfish. They mess with their eggs and eat their eggs. And then also, you know, just the pre-spawn fish, the chatterbait, you know, those fish that are cruising, they're going to want to eat crawfish. It's the reason, you know, they're this big around. They're just munching on shad, munching on crawfish. Crawfish is one of the best things that a bass can eat, especially to get a lot of protein, a lot of calories in their system. So, you know, this is a great way to mimic that, especially in those high winds. You can run it through just about anything, whether that's brush or whatever the case may be. So, you know, definitely pick you up a chatterbait. The other one that I want to talk about, this one right here, was great for finding those pre-spawners that were cruising. So those fish that were cruising maybe to their staging areas or their pre-spawn areas, maybe they were already staged up there, but they're active. You know, I'm going to throw that 3-inch Mayor. It's just a hard bait to beat this time of year. I mean, I know y'all hear me talk about it a lot, but I can't necessarily give you baits that, you know, we're not catching fish off of, because you know, it's not that you probably wouldn't catch fish off of those baits, but they're just not what we're not catching them off of right now. These are the baits that we're using, and we've been very, very successful with it, no matter, you know, what lake we go. But, you know, I'm going to pick up that swim bait. I'll go to a natural color if I get in that cleaner water, but, you know, this, you know, dim, cloudy day, we've got dirty water. That chartreuse and white Mayor, it's just, it puts a lot of contrast in the water. It looks natural to the fish, and they just absolutely munch on it. So if I'm throwing it on 3/8 ounce head, typically going to be in the wind, so you know, you definitely want a heavier head. So 3/8 ounce is just perfect, whether I'm in calm conditions or I'm in windy conditions. I can still control that bait really well and catch a lot of fish. But you know, either way, guys, if that helps you at all, make sure to like. It helps me out a whole lot. Subscribe. I got you covered when it comes to anything bass fishing. Comment down below if you just want to talk bass fishing, or you have any questions or anything you want to add. I'll see you next time.